Hi, I'm Roohi, and I'm the host of Business Podcast by Roohi. It's not a very popular podcast yet. However, when I started this from my bedroom in Singapore, I had no idea that I would be able to host and give a platform to some of the people that I really admire, some of the amazing VCs, legends out there, and I've gone on to host like 130 plus episodes till date and several more on the backlog, and I've just been able to do it because of pure hustle, persistency, and just making things happen even though I was the most unqualified person in the room. So how did I go about this journey? How did I get into podcasting, and what's next for me? So I'll be sharing more in this video today. So some things kind of about my journey is what most people may not know is I actually accidentally fell into podcasting. Like, I didn't plan to be a podcaster. It just kind of happened, and I attended this 3-day workshop by Piyush Kukreja, someone I'd randomly found on the internet. And so he kind of convinced me that I should take this podcasting workshop, and then I took it, and I've just been at it ever since. So I guess some of my key learnings have been just being open to opportunities, being open to serendipity, being open to like people trying on your behalf to make things happen for you. So I think one instance where that kind of happened was our Bangalore event, which I'll be putting the clips of somewhere in this video. And so that came purely out of hustle, just getting in touch with anybody and everybody I knew in Bangalore and asking them if they knew somebody that had a space where I could kind of do something like this podcast. And it eventually happened thanks to Pavitran of Indian VCs, and I'd met Pavitran PC at an event actually, and prior, like a content and coffee with Shrivar. So shout out to him for making that connect happen. And we eventually hosted it in Inkle's office in HSR, and I got Siddhartha of the Neon Show, Neon Fun, somebody that I really look up to, admire in the content space. So he came on the pod and he shared some amazing insights on content. He was even kind enough to do kind of this fireside chat as well with the folks that were there. So we had really ambitious creators, founders, super amazing folks, and we just had a really good time, and it was one of the best experiences of my life doing that event and getting in front of so many people. Like, for those who don't know, I'm like super shy, super introverted, so to even get a stage where I could just like share my insights and talk to somebody face to face was just a unreal experience. And next, I'll kind of talk about some of my big learnings. So a bunch of you, a few folks may be wondering, like, how do I actually keep this podcast going? And the main thing is consistency via sustainability. So what I mean by that is being consistent in your episodes is very important in the beginning of the podcast. However, towards the end, you really need some motivation, some way to keep yourself sustainable. And what I mean by sustainability is that you need to find a way to really make these episodes on a cadence that fits on your schedule, not the audience's schedule. And that's something, a learning that I've kind of come to embrace over the last 5 years or so, 5 years of doing this on and off. And let me just talk you through some of the early days of the podcast. So since I didn't document the majority of the early journey, so I don't have much content to go off on. However, audio was kind of my most comfortable medium at that point of time when I first started the pod. So excuse me, I think I'm kind of do pardon my I kind of think I lost my voice this weekend, so if you could just bear with me, that would be amazing. And audio became my most comfortable medium, and I was just going on Zoom and Riverside and all these different platforms and just hosting these online podcasts with amazing folks. And I also came to realize slowly over time the importance of capital, and more specifically belief capital. And this came to me very in unexpected ways, through grants, through backings, and I eventually made it very recently into the, I won this top 3 of this micro scholarship initiative. And so the reason that I kind of switched to video was because I really wanted to face my fears and get in front of the camera, do something, do more hard things. And so I decided to like start yapping on the internet. I decided to start sharing my thoughts on the internet, and that kind of helped me build confidence. To be able to do something like this today is just unimaginable for like the 18-year-old Roohi, who was too scared, too shy, too fearful of what her peers and others may think of what she was doing and what she was trying to accomplish. And now I just wanted to just say a quick thanks to like all the people that have been supporting me, rooting for me, cheering for me, hyping me up on socials. Like, it's just amazing to see this kind of support for the podcast, because like even growing up, like I grew up in Singapore, and like yeah, it was just a very different experience. Like, joining the internet has just been this greatest equalizer of access. I've been able to connect with so many amazing folks, and it also comes hand in hand with rejections as well. Like, I tried to reach out to a bunch of amazing folks, and I didn't get the time of day from them. So I just kept on increasing my volume game, and just kept on reaching out until eventually somebody took a yes on me and took a bet on me. And so I'll just pop up some of these rejections per se that I've had on the screen here, so that you can kind of get a flavor for what I'm talking about. And I think overcoming these rejections has just been a constant battle of just knowing that, you know, this is a platform that is in its nascency, it's in its early days, and if I want people to take it seriously, I need to have some kind of good proposition that will make them want to come on the pod and share the insights, share the story. And to me, I feel that one insight I had is age. So age became my mode. So when I started pitching folks, I started mentioning my age more and more. And I don't know in hindsight if that helped me to get any interviews, any podcasts scheduled. However, I have over these last few kind of, let's say, weeks, received quite a few inbounds actually, because of putting myself out there on YouTube, not just on these social medias and other things. However, YouTube has been a big driver, kind of, let's say, of this growth, this organic growth for the podcast, and it's growing even faster rates than the audio channels on Spotify, which have been added since like 5 years, and YouTube is just very recent. I've just started this like 1-2 years ago. And so what I have planned, I have some epic things planned. We have this thing called Seat at the Table. We have a meetup hopefully at the end of the month, of this month, I mean, in Singapore. I'm just gonna try to bring a few folks together, listeners of the pod, people interested in startups, VC, and the works. And I also wanted to introduce this concept of Seat at the Table, which is essentially I'm trying to bring together these guests and give the folks who are listening to the podcast access to them in the form of live online podcasts, in-person podcasts, like anything you name it, I'm down. I just need to find some good initial guests to be comfortable doing this live online podcast, and then we'll be sorted. So this is my quick under 10-minute video, and I just wanted to address the elephant in the room, which is the rejections part. And it's been hard, it's been hard getting no's, and hard to see these no's coming from some people that you really want to host. But you just have to keep pushing through it. You just have to keep on knowing that this is all part of the plan. And yeah, this is it. This is my under 10-minute video breaking down how the journey has been and what's next. And yeah, thanks to everyone who's been like tuning in and like listening and hearing me yap. And yeah, this has been a good one. Okay, let's get started then.